Warren Buffett. The name alone conjures images of wealth, power, and an almost mystical ability to pick the right stocks. He's often portrayed as the ultimate stock market wizard, the man who turned a few $1,000s into a fortune worth billions. But what if I told you that the real story behind Warren Buffett's wealth isn't just about picking stocks? What if I told you that the secret to his success lies in something far deeper, far more strategic, and far more accessible to the rest of us? Let's dive into the truth about how Warren Buffett actually got rich. And no, it's not just about stocks. Let's rewind to a young Warren Buffett in the 1950s. Most people don't realize that Buffett wasn't just a numbers guy. He was a thinker, a strategist. While others were getting caught up in the excitement of the stock market, Buffett was quietly developing a plan that would change his life forever. You see, Buffett wasn't just looking to make a quick buck, he was playing the long game. He wasn't just buying stocks, he was buying businesses. That's right, businesses. While the world focused on the stocks he was picking, Buffett focused on something far more powerful: ownership. Here's where the story gets interesting. Buffett understood something that most people still don't get. He knew that real wealth doesn't come from just trading stocks. It comes from owning them, from owning assets that produce value over time. But Buffett didn't stop there. He didn't just want to own pieces of companies. He wanted to own the companies themselves. Why? Because owning the whole business gave him control. It gave him cash flow. And most importantly, it gave him the ability to reinvest that cash flow into even more businesses. This was Buffett's secret weapon: leverage. And I don't mean the risky kind of leverage that involves taking on massive debt. I mean the kind of leverage that comes from owning assets that generate more and more wealth as time goes on. Imagine this. While everyone else was trying to time the market, Buffett was quietly buying businesses that would generate cash flow year after year, decade after decade. He wasn't just looking for the next big thing. He was looking for value, for consistency, for businesses that would stand the test of time. And that's exactly what he found. From insurance companies to railroads, Buffett built a portfolio of businesses that provided him with a steady stream of income. But here's the kicker. Instead of spending that income, Buffett reinvested it. He let it compound. And over time, that compounding effect turned his millions into billions. Let's talk about one of Buffett's most famous moves, Berkshire Hathaway. Today it's a powerhouse, a conglomerate worth over $500 billion. But it didn't start that way. When Buffett first got involved, Berkshire Hathaway was a struggling textile company, far from the financial giant it is today. Most people would have walked away, but not Buffett. He saw an opportunity, a way to turn this failing business into something far more valuable. And that's exactly what he did. Over the years, he used Berkshire Hathaway as a vehicle to acquire more businesses, more assets, more wealth. He didn't just buy stocks through Berkshire, he bought entire companies. Insurance, energy, consumer goods, you name it, Berkshire owns it. And with each acquisition, Buffett's wealth grew. But it wasn't just the acquisitions that made Buffett rich. It was the strategy behind them. It was the way he used Berkshire Hathaway's profits to buy even more businesses, to create even more cash flow, to build an empire that would last for generations. But here's the real lesson in Buffett's story. It's not just about what he bought. It's about how he thought. Buffett's real genius wasn't in picking the right stocks. It was in thinking like an owner, not just an investor. He understood that true wealth comes from owning assets that grow in value over time. He knew that the real power in investing comes from patience, discipline, and a long-term vision. He didn't chase fads. He didn't follow trends. He stuck to his principles. He bought what he understood. He held on for the long haul, and he let time and compounding do the rest. That's the real secret to Warren Buffett's success. In the end, Warren Buffett didn't become a billionaire just because he was good at picking stocks. He became a billionaire because he mastered the art of ownership, because he understood the power of leverage, and because he had the patience and discipline to let his investments grow over time. That's how Warren Buffett actually got rich. And that's a lesson we can all learn from.